Great and beautiful morning, afternoon, and evening to you all, wherever you are joining me at this moment. Welcome to 280 edition of Investdata Trading Academy Live with Ambrose. Yes, I would say that the market at the international scene still remain mixed, as some market have some domain was seeing that they are exchange that open on a downtrend or a southward or the drift lower. Where you want to put it. Some are flat as to speak, while some are just trying to look up, but still very marginal. It tells you that the market is really sensitive to macroeconomic data, information from the central banks of this world, and all these are the factors driving prices of equities up and down across the globe. Nigeria market is not left behind, and we can see that this morning, if you look at what is happening in our local market, we are seeing a strong pullback as the highly priced stocks suffer loss this hour. Don't know how it's going to close, if they were going to retrace up before the market close for today. But at this hour, we're seeing that the major highly priced stocks are on the downtrend, and that has put the all share index into red as to speak. And for investors to understand what I mean, that's why I said anytime you are in the market, look at what industrial indices to see what is happening in that industry. Looking at the general market index at times can be misleading, but also guide you what is happening, depending on other factors you want to consider when looking at the general market trend. But I will coming over back to that to see what is happening in our local market. But still back to the international market. If you look at what is happening in the mature market now, I will tell you there is nothing far-fetched, as all eyes are on the Fed decision. And I told you that often and often in this class that what happened in Fed in terms of rate hike or pause or cut, that is the likely what will come after that, because all eyes are on them, on that central banks, especially in the West. For me, investors are also looking at that, because most macroeconomic data that are monitored from this both those in in the West and also in Asia, and even also in Europe, we saw that even in Africa, we saw that most of these data were missed. If you start from Africa, you can see that the recent inflation data that came from Africa, most of them declined, but that of Nigeria was opposite of what other major countries or domain or major nations in Africa posted. But Nigeria was up fine. If you go to West, the same thing. Also, if you look at what is happening in Asia, this is the same figure also. But as we speak now, all eyes on what unfair decision that is coming by next week. And what happened also that was also put in market players in this dual mature economy in a very dicey situation is that yesterday we saw that Bank of Canada has also followed suit what the Bank of Australia, Reserve Bank of Australia did the previous day on rate hike, 25 basic point hike again. That means cost of borrowing in this domain or these countries that have done this hike is also high, and that's also struggling for most of this global economy, trying to survive despite the Organization of Economic Cooperation Development saying that they are likely to be slight improve in economic growth for the global economy. But why in UK they said that inflation also because it's high, that's why it's slowing down, that they might also struggle a little. But also in Nigeria here we saw that yes, World Bank also kind of the kind of downgrade the growth potential or outlook for Nigeria again. But we need to look at all this as investors to see how it's going to guide us. Because I tell you, yet it's only in few occasions you can see that there's a disconnection between the economy and the market. And when it happens, it doesn't last for for too long before they come also in the same direction. That's why I say the stock market anywhere is a leading indicator of any economy. That means if you're looking at the economy and capital market, you must see how they are connecting. Because the more they are they are disconnecting, the more it tells you that yes, that we are seeing either the market is going up or the market is going down. It's a matter of time. It will adjust to meet each other in the same. As I said, as an investor, you must understand what's happening in the economy where you are playing. Either if you are playing in the mature market, you are playing the local market. You must understand what is happening. Look at the macroeconomic data that are coming. Look at the company earnings to see the direction they are going, so that it also help you to know exactly what to do. As we speak now, if you look at what is happening, in the US market, I will tell you that as we speak now, the indices there are flat. And also don't forget that the climb down of these crypto traders in US also causing a lot of also oscillation, people trying to move from one instrument to or the other, in terms of investment windows. These are things we're also looking at. And because Fed also is another that's coming by next week, everybody is like, let's wait and see what will come out of it. And like I told you earlier, that these two major economy, US and China, I told you that the economy is still struggling. But the good thing is that China has taken, has like to take another step to kind of stimulate the economy after the post-19 recession removal, and see the economy recovering is still struggling. Now they are trying to also so that they can form form of stimulus to push the economy up, and that is good for that people in that domain of the economy. That because if you see that China export has started dwindling, that's also a concern for them. And I believe that the stimulus also will come, and that will also help them. Especially the state banks are also cutting their work, the deposit rate, to see that funds available to support their economic recovery, which for me is good, despite the slowing global economic growth. And all these are what is also shaping the market. But if you look at what is happening in Asia market, I will tell you that Asia market, as we speak, also this Thursday, has also kind of slide down to red, because most of the indicators there or indices there are flat, and some of them are red. To say that all these are weighing on this what on the market across the globe. Even when in China there, all eyes are focused on one so let's say also from in that Asia, all eyes are focused on what on the largest economic data that will be available by Friday tomorrow, for them to know more or the clue of where there's a kind of a disinflationary trend in that country. Chinese stock also have to speak. I tell you largely what all the gains that are recorded so far this year because of what this shaking economic recovery, even when they're able to they remove the restriction for COVID-19, which has also boosted in some other sectors. If you look at their air service and all those stuff, because people are traveling before there was restriction, but people are traveling out coming, and that side of business is also doing well because of the restriction removal of a restriction for COVID-19. But these are yet to reflect more on the manufacturing and other indicators there. South Korea will consider that okay, the government also are looking at how they can also unlock some potential for the growth, for the economic growth. Also, we are not Australia is not left behind. But also, but I tell you that to speak now, Australian market is flat. Like I tell you that there are some indices in that country board. Look at what is happening and also in India. India still remain for me as far as also are still on the Reserve Bank of India to meet also later today, so that they will also know where they are going in terms of what in terms of their own rate decision. And these are the things that also keeping the whole market a big door. Even when Japan has also tried like their Q1 GDP has come up kind of powerfully improved, but also they are considering that also inflation and also their zero interest rate. How are they going to adjust to meet what is happening globally? These are things that is playing out in that domain as we speak. But Europe, as I told you earlier, Europe for me, we're seeing that they also trade in Europe now as we speak. I told you earlier that it's also in a downward trend, as all eyes are on what the meeting that will come out from even Fed and also an ECB that will also be coming any moment from now. What will be the decision of these central banks regarding what rate? Don't forget that rate has a way of directing flow of funds. As we speak now, because of the little adjustment in Canada, rate from by 25 basis points, you can see that US Treasury yield has also jumped up just overnight. Because of that, all eyes are like that. Oh, the 74% of those that were expecting for Fed to pause they have dropped to around to 70 from 74. That they are more likely also adjust up or leave it flat. But they are still guessing until next week for investors to know exactly what Fed will. Don't forget that if Fed hike rate is going to also put more pressure on the economy, and also you can see that the treasury business also the yield will be high, and that also kind of start putting pressure on the market. On that note, we are seeing cautious trading across the globe. Why in Nigeria here, we are seeing that market as follow NGS is down already. Other African markets, we are seeing also a mixed trend. That's why I say globally, the market is trading at a caution position with all eyes on what on the Fed. Even when we saw different reports from the labor market, the consumer price index, all are still waiting that finally it is what is happening, what will happen at the end of Fed meeting will determine most. Yes, we saw that oil price rebounded this morning. Earlier it has lost what again, but this morning as we speak now, it has rebounded to $77.46 as we speak. As investors in that market they'll digest the US statement, to see the missed, the fuel inventory and other things, to see if the Saudi court and also OPEC are to go, but most of the projection in that market that the oil might relatively remain between below $80 in the second half. If that is sustained, this kind of slowdown we're seeing in inflation across the globe might likely continue, for investors to know might likely continue. And if that continue, or less, what will happen also at the side of the of the Ukraine and Russia in terms of their war, that also will determine how far. But I believe that if oil price remain a bit stable below $80 in the second half of the year, that would be good. But let's see what the outcome will be for what Fed meeting next week. Hopefully, by God's grace, we'll be here to see another data that will come today and tomorrow from different economy. Will also guide us to know what will happen in that matured market. Then back home towards Nigeria market. As to speak, I told you that anytime you want to look at the market, you want to jump into the market, you want to look at what is the chart saying. It's very, very important. Yes, you can see all the different news coming from left and right, but what is that saying? What is the psychology of the people in that market? And that is why that is what the chart is going to show you. You will see what chart is going up. That is information. It says that there's a positive sentiment to that market, but you see pulling back. And as we speak now in our market here, I said it either 2 days ago that there's no major fundamental news that's around apart from all eyes on the body disposition of the new administration following the positive or positive policy statement that emanated during the swearing in the first inauguration speech, and we're looking out to see more policy guide that will also put the Nigerian economy in the path of progress. If that is sustained, I'll tell you that will give a clear direction where the market is going. But because of that statement, you can see that there is a kind of a positive sentiment that puts the market to where it is. But I believe that investors and traders in the market are also taking advantage of this sentiment to cash out the profit, and that's why I think that most stocks that were pushed up during that 30th May pronunciation, market was almost on fire. Those stocks are pulling back now. That's why we are seeing, even when the market has managed to break out a new resistance level to cross into a new support level of 56, we are seeing that the market has remained not truly strong since that day. But I tell you that this morning we are seeing a major pullback that will be the highest since the breakout of 56, the breakout of 55,984. Today we are seeing a pullback, and this is a pullback as a result of what seeing that the major big car, especially Dangote Cement and the MTN and others like NGS Group, kind of suffering kind of losses now at this hour that have put the market down. But before we go to the chart proper, we want to look at what is the market doing right away. Yes, consider the index have pulled back to to trade at 55,474.78. Market is down by 549.74, down by 1.2% in the red. But as we speak, the good thing is that you can see this is a mixed trend in the market. We're still seeing that we're having about positive market red, 20 gainers as we speak, and 10 losers in the loser chart. But because high caps like NBN and Dangote Cement, as I've mentioned, are among the loser chart that are pull market down. But if you look at in terms of position taking, we're seeing that both medium and blue chips companies, medium cap companies are still in demand. We're seeing no activities there, and prices are going up in that regard. But let's see how the market is going to close today. But it's good that we know that we're having a mixed market, despite that the high cap stock have pulled down the major all share index. And that's why I said at the beginning of this class that we should know how to go back and look at our sectorial indices to know exactly what is happening in that regard. If you look at the top losers now, we'll start from top losers because I told you that we're having 10 on the red side and the 20 on the green side. On the red side, we're seeing that Dangote Cement is one leading the pack with almost 5.9% as we speak, trading around the 272.90 naira, followed by Honeywell that almost on a strong bid yesterday. this morning. That's why as a trader, I tell you, don't fall in love with up market. So up market is an opportunity for you to take the profit if you know what you're doing in the market. That's why I said you must have a plan and trade your plan. Don't be greedy. Yes, you can see some momentum, but once you have hit your target, always take profit because market cannot remain up direction. Yes, also when you see a pullback like this, it's also opportunity to buy depending on your what on your investment objective. But you can see that Honeywell this morning is also a pullback, about 5.8% in the red, followed by GSK, Glasgow slightly in charge, also on the red, followed by Stanbic IBTC, also and also FCMB. These are the top losers as we speak now. But if you look at the gainer chart this morning, I see that Japan is not giving up. That stock has maintained almost 30 to 44 kobo now, almost 10% up, followed by NSL Tech, that is also 10% in the green. You can see MRS. MRS is now available in the market. Yes, what is pushing this stock? Is it beyond subsidy removal, or is it the impressive Q1? At this point, will it be sustained? Yes, the stock is not in the market because share issue is very, very tight, and the number of shares also outstanding is small. You can see that the price has also gone up with 10% again to trade at almost 60 naira as we speak. You can see also Cornerstone Insurance. This stock has really surprised the market, after declaring 60 kobo dividend. Magna, after Magna rebounded, trading around 1 naira 10 kobo as we speak now, 9.9% in the green. While internal oil sustained the momentum to trade around 13 naira 45 kobo, also 9.9% in the green. These are the top gainers. If you look at also in terms of volume and also activities, you can also confidently say that UBA is the one leading the pack now with 110.73 million shares traded so far. Japan Gold followed by 16.46. Also you can see assets also almost 13 naira this hour. That is good. 12.42 million traded shares. While FCM Cocoa is not left behind, 8.5 million shares as we speak, and the Zenith Bank also traded 8.56 million shares also at this hour. This is the state of the market at this moment. Yes, we'll quickly come back to look at our chart to see what is happening in our chart because this has a long way. This has a long way to give us to guide us on what to do right now. What to do right now? Look at the chart. As we are back to, on the chart, let's see what the chart is doing now. We'll call up our indicators to exactly guide us on what to do right away. You have seen already that you can see that the market is already down, but our indicators will help us to catch some clips right now. Pull our MACD up. We take our money flow as usual. We take our C line. Change this one to what? To 8th position for us to get a full clip. Yes, this is the state of the market. Like I've said that there's a divergence. If you remember, I've said it in the last class. There's a divergence on the all share index. Since even since the breakout, you are seeing a divergence between the momentum and also the index action. If you look at what the formation of MACD index is doing, you see. If you look at this histogram here, that it is coming down already, while the market was also making up. Finally, now consider the market has pulled back to test the T line flat on the T line. That there it has not broken down, but this is a sign that market is becoming weak, and you can also see that money flow has also come up here later. You can see that it's looking up to around 8.2 point. Market close yesterday it's 81.08, but this one can see 82.34, just slightly up in terms of money flow. But you can see that the front trader is small, and the red one to see that market is also making a lower low. Sorry, it's looking down the pullback. Now you can see that market is looking down. I told you that this is a correction, a kind of a distribution phase. If you have read my article this morning on the market, you can see that this is the pullback. As I said, the market has been on a critical level. We have seen market going up on a declining volume. I've been summarizing on this so that you will understand it that if market breakout on a strong resistance level with a good volume, and you see it making, then I can see that it's a new trend have started again. But when you see market at this time of breakout and you see it breaking out with a low volume compared to the previous day, and that trend is not sustained in terms of it tells you that something is low, is strong somewhere, and they can see that market have struggled in this peak of 16 years high. For me, most of stuff that hit 52 weeks high as a result of 30th May, no positive reaction or sentiment. That has also given opportunity for many traders like me to start taking profit in the market, which also you can see that market has struggled in terms of side trending since that May 30th before we saw a breakout to above 56. Now it's down almost below 55 55,500. No, for me, there's no cost for that, but rather it's an opportunity for as the market pullback for you to position into some stock that will follow this trend. That's why you need to look at the indices and individual stock chart to see what is happening in those stocks. We quickly look at the 1 hour chart at this hour to see what is happening in the market. Let me look at the 1 hour chart. That will go a long way to guide us. Look at the 1 hour chart, what is happening. The 1 hour chart, what is happening there shows us that on the 1 hour chart, the market has cooled below what? Below the T line. And MACD has confirmed a bearish situation. You can see here money flow looking down to almost 55.08 or 04. You can see it here. Then finally, go to our 15 minutes chart, which is very, very important to us. 15 minutes chart to give us more insight of what to do. This means that giving us, yes, you can see the last 15 minutes out for three candlestick. You can see a pullback here. You can see that it has continued also to look that. That's why I try to fund me here. I tell you that there's a sign also that market tries to some taking position, but already MACD is bearish and money flow is below 50 to read around 52. For me, let's keep our finger crossed, and for those that are in a good position, that are in profit, don't hesitate to take your profit. Those that are targeting to buy into any position, let this pullback were expected to correct. It creates opportunity for you to buy into good company. Trade your plan and don't enter the market without plan. If you are in the market without plan, the market will toss you up and down at any given time. Yes, as we have seen the market situation now, we want to look at what is driving these stocks and how far will they go. Yesterday we look at the internal oil, but I don't mind starting with that internal oil again this morning before we look at the UPDC and others to see what is driving them, how strong is the momentum of already in this stock, how far will they go. This is what we are going to look at this chart. If you look at the 15 minute chart for Etana, yes, we have to also be careful for Etana. We've already seen, yes, the MACD still moving kind of having a divergence also, because the index is the price action is looking up. We are seeing a breakout on a daily basis, but you can see that the on a 15 minute chart, you can see that the MACD is also looking down. But let's go back to 1 hour chart before we go to the chart to give us more insight. On a 1 hour chart, MACD is bullish and money flow is flat. Does not change, flat at what? At 43, all this while below 50. Then we finally look at the 8-day chart that will give us the reposition of the stock. You can see some gap up as we speak, that as the stock is heading toward to 14 naira as we speak. MACD is become more bullish and money flow is also a bit flat at 95. That's not broken about to 100, but still very strong. And the volume that we're seeing now for today is relatively small compared to other days that have been below the average average traded volume all this while. But today we are seeing that the volume is still very, very low. If I can see here, very low this morning. Let's watch and see how it's going to wait. Actually, let me call it up so that we can see what is happening in that. Then also among the top gainers, we can quickly look at what is happening in this how far will cornerstone go with this trend we are seeing in cornerstone. How far will it go? It's important that we check this to see, to know how far will cornerstone go. Let's see, as an investor, we'll see what can we if we are already in this stock, it is time for us to take profit so that we won't be greedy and the stock will not turn back into back to us as we are holding and without taking a proper step. That's why we are looking at the chart together so that we look at what is behind the cornerstone movement and we can take action immediately. Cornerstone are giving us a sign on a day chart already. that no profit taking has started coming in. But still, you need to also trade. And money flow is already looking down generally. For you, if you're in cornerstone, look at what to do. The price are moving when they mark down. What is the Q to go to, and they don't pay trade dividend. Look at the fundamental news. With the price, is it just the 6 kobo dividend that push it here, or just sentiment? We need to look at what the strength of the Q1 number and what is likely to be what for their Q2. Let's quickly look at the 15-minute chart for this stock. For the 15-minute chart, yes, we have seen that no kind of sell off. I have seen already. You can see your MACD is already looking down here. Money flows below 50. For me, if you are in this stock, you have made money, nothing stop you from taking your profit. We already see the MACD looking down. You can see where the histogram is now already on the downside for this stock. But look at the 1 hour chart for the stock. Let's go there. Look at 1 hour sign also tells us that I can see the stock is resisting. You can see it went up, and this sign, when you see this sign on a market that is going up, a sign of weakness. After starting up as high, they see it coming down. Sellers have dominated the market. That's why you are seeing it coming down. You have to also play with caution in that regard. Like I mentioned, I told you that MRS is not available in the market, but you can still look at the chart briefly. It's not available in the market as we speak. But let's check what is doing here so that before we can conclude what is happening in that store right away. As we see that it's not no trading MRS. Let's see what is happening in that stock right away. Also, almost the same pattern with what we are seeing in Tana, but you can see on a 1 hour chart what we are seeing here that MACD is already becoming bearish. You can see it here. Our money flow remain flat at this level, but this at 1 hour chart, they are giving us sign of selling pressure coming there. People trying to take advantage of the price up. Let's look at the 15-minute chart again. That will give us a clear direction again. 15 minutes at the end of this stock. Sell can see what I'm saying here. It's already bearish on 15 minutes, so that means selling pressure on that way, and that means you need to cash out what we have made on this stock with this rally. Yes, they are coming from a negative position. We are seeing a good number for Q1, but their dividend last year, no. What are they going to pay? How many with this no subsidy removal impact the Q2 number? It depends on your investment objective, but you can take profit and still wait for this final result. Let's look at the full what. Let's look at a day chart. Even on a day chart, you can see where it's doing now. Always seeing a kind of a slowdown. You can see that, and the volume is becoming smaller on a daily basis. That means money flow is looking down small from almost 90 to 88. You can see you need to also take that way. You might take action fast before any other thing. UPDC is very clear. Let's look at what is happening in UPDC. Let's look at what is happening in UPDC. UPDC. Yes, UPDC, you can see that the stock is also showing. This on a day chart. The day chart was seen that MACD coming stronger bullish, and money flow have turned up to read around 56 above the T line. You can see here, and the volume traded so far has been below their traded average, but still in green. You can see this movement here. For this stock, I thought almost at high, almost 119 today before pulling back to 115 and 116. Want to see it has broken out another double top here, formation here, and broken out before pulling back to here. Let's see if it is struggling to break out this resistance level of 118 kobo and 120 kobo. A breakout here will also usher in new trend. But it's good that we are seeing this. Let's look at the 1 hour chart. The 1 hour chart is almost having the same pattern with the day chart, looking bullish strong here. You can see it here. But the candles still telling us that it has gone up before coming. I can see where it has tested almost 119, 118 before coming back to this level of a double top. Let's see how it will go. But we're also seeing a strong bullish MACD. That's why MACD is a lag indicator. Tells you that something. And money flow is still strong on the 1 hour chart. I said this is a good one at 99 point something. It's also a good one. There's no cause for alarm attack for the stock. Then we look at Honeywell that just pulled back today after yesterday rally. With the trend of pulling back continue, let's quickly also look at our live chart to give us more information on the Honeywell situation. Honeywell flower. Let's take a look at what is happening in Honeywell too. Then we know exactly where stock is going. You can see that on the 1 hour chart, you can see that the stock in the last 2 hours has been on the red. You can see that pulling down. MACD has also given us sign. Just can see what the money flow is also looking down around 86. You can see, but MACD still gives little sign here, but you can see that histogram is looking down. You have to play caution with this. I can see that the volume traded is lower than what we saw on the 1 hour chart. But let's look at a day chart to get the full picture of the stock. Yeah, this morning it has also rallied up in the morning before it pull back here. You can see now it's trading below the almost a flat at the same rate that it closed yesterday. We're seeing now 30.25. That means lower than the 30.45 that closed. That means that pull back you can see here, but yet to take out this bullish candle. That means once the period of now say we have a bearish engulfing, yet not engulfing, we are seeing a pullback from 345 to what to 320 in the stock. Also, if you look at the a day chart, that's why I always look at different time frame. Day chart is still telling that there's still momentum, there's positive on the stock. That's why I said don't look at only one frame. Look at the 15-minute time frame, 1 hour, and the day chart to give it over. Because this is a day chart we're looking at, a live chart we're looking at. But our morning flow is still looking up on the strong one on a daily chart to read around 88.4, and MACD try to also become stronger bullish, and what the volume is what is not too encouraging as they pull back after following the high volume of almost 15 million traded yesterday in the stock. These are the things that we need to consider anytime we're looking at the market to know exactly what is happening and the next step we should take. Yes, finally, before we run the close of our time in fast spend, to look at what is happening in me and Baker this morning. Let's see what is happening there. Very, very important that we know what is happening in me and Baker. Once we put together to know exactly. Yes, as we speak now, me and Baker is still that's moved slightly above 4 to almost 460, but now that pull back marginal to trade around 460 now, 450 now from 460. That is what is trading now. Not too bad. Also, the volume compared to what we saw yesterday is also small, but MACD is still very strong and powerful. Money flow is still strong and powerful at 88.24. Here, this for the chart. We look at what the 1 hour chart is saying about the stuff. The last 2 hours, the stock is also very strong. I'll tell you that it's trading around at 6 naira, almost touched before 475 before pulling back to trade at this point. Let's see where it goes. MACD is still, despite that, it's still, Instagram is looking down, but still bullish on MACD. And money flow try to look up around the 50, 48, 45 points for money flow. Let's see, look at the 15 days, 15 minutes moving at 15 minutes chart. 15 chart is telling us that yes, the stock is already now on the look on it's very bearish on the 15-minute chart. That means we're seeing sell-off activities where or profit taking and let's the profit taking activities which also sell off. We're also seeing that money flow has come as well as 12 point. And don't forget that this 15 minutes, the almost the shortest time frame one is 15 minutes to catch whether the trend will continue. But now we're seeing a slowdown in this trend. Let's watch what the next trading day will look like or what is going to close today to give us a clue what we'll see finally tomorrow. Yes, for this note, for those that are calling me for the master class, you can go ahead and pay. If you pay, for those that are not in the premier class, you are still enjoying your 10%. But if you pay on or before 20th of June, but for those in master and premium class, you know what you are going to enjoy. Also, it is also till June 20th. Those in the premium class, you know that you have your 25% in any of our master class, which also go ahead and make your payment. And I'll tell you for this coming master class, because we're all expecting to see a clear direction of the economy and also the market. There will be more to look at the fundamentals and this time take analysis, because I tell you in everything we're seeing, it is the buying and selling that matters and the demand and supply of side. I would write we must not do any trading without combining the technical analysis. As we're looking at some fundamental and policy restructure and policy change that will drive the economy and also impact the market positively. Also, we look at how to catch to confirm this trend, this turnout, this breakout, this reversal are strong, and this time a new trend is starting to jump. We must learn all this also in that class. And these are professionals that also have made money in this class, this market, and also making money, and also they are ready to share their knowledge with you. Once they are ready to share their knowledge with you, at the end of the day, you understand that their knowledge is what they are sharing, nothing else but their knowledge. Then wait for them also to share their knowledge, and that will also guide you in the new economy. We're expecting that the government policy is going to guide us into this new, and we want to follow that government policy as we speak. And that I believe that once we're able to position ahead of it, I tell you, for those that attended the master class for the first one for the year and the second quarter, they are smart. I said yesterday, and even though all those that have started training us, started master class in 20 no, in 2020, I've also enjoyed the master class. They are all there. Some of them are still here to tell you story and also what they have gained from the master class. It's meant for those that are ready to take advantage of the market and also take time also to sit down and look at what they are investing. Gather more knowledge, more insight. Live among the community of traders as they share trade idea. That will help you to boost your bottom line and also confidence to trade on your own at any given time. I look forward to see you all in this class at the master class come 1st of July 2023. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your trading day. Bye.